Hi, welcome to HelpYourMath.com. Here we have a problem trying to find the absolute maximum and minimum on the closed interval, -1 to 4 for the function right here. Since it's closed interval, this is key for our problem. Whenever the interval is closed, we are sure we can find absolute maximum and minimum. However, we don't know if the maximum minimum point is my starting point or is my ending point or it's maybe in between. So the first thing we have to do is finding our critical points. The critical points could be our absolute maximum or minimum. Also, starting, ending also may be our absolute maximum or minimum. So let's first find our critical number. In order to find a critical number, we have to take a derivative of this function. So taking derivative, so we're going to work on x to the 4th. So that's the power we use. That's going to be put the 4 in front. That's going to be 4 multiply 4 minus 1. Subtract, put the 3 in front. And 3 minus 1. And we put 2 in front, and 2 minus 1 is x. And the constant number derivative is 0. So let's simplify right here. So 4 and 4 cancels out. We will have x to the 3rd subtract 3x squared plus 2x. In order to get a critical number, we have to set up the first derivative equals to 0. So now we have to solve for x for this function right here. So let's do the factoring first. So we can see there's x as a common factor right here. I factor out x. So remaining will be x squared subtract 3x plus a 2 equals to 0. Since positive 2 can be -1 times -2, and -1 plus -2 give me -3. So now I have my common factors, x minus 1, x minus 2 equals to 0. Now I have my critical numbers. That's going to be 3. The first one will be x equal to 0. The second one will be x equal to 1. The last one will be x equal to 2. The next we have to do is we have to figure out which one is our absolute maximum or minimum. In order to figure out is we have to check which one is biggest, which one is smallest. How to check is by plugging the value. We have 3 right here. We also have -1 and 4 right here. So we're going to plug in those numbers back into the equation to say which one is the biggest, which one is the smallest. Now, let me make a table right here. So we're going to check is starting from the smallest we have is -1. And we have 0. We have 1. And a 2. So I plug in -1 into my function. That's going to be f of -1. And my result will be, let me do a calculation right here. That's going to be 1 over 4, -1 to the 4th power. Subtract -1 to the 3rd plus -1 squared minus 6. So -1 to the 4th power, that's going to be a positive. That's 1 over 4. Subtract -1 to the 3rd power, going to be a negative. That's going to be plus 1. And -1 squared, that's going to be 1. Subtract a 6. So we're going to have a 1 over 4. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 minus 6 is -4. And result will be -3. 3 over 4. Then we're going to plug in 0 into my original function. This one going to be very easy. So that's going to be 0 minus 0 plus 0. The answer will be -6. Now we plug in 1 into the function here. Let's do right now. 1 to the 4th, subtract 1 to the 3rd, plus 1 squared minus 6. So from here we have 1 to the 4th, which is 1, so I have 1 over 4, subtract 1 plus 1, subtract 6. Cancels out, so 1 over 4 subtract 6 will be negative 5, 3 over 4. So the last one will be we plug in 2 back into the function. I'm going to erase right here. So f of 2, that's going to be 1 over 4, 2 to the 4th power, subtract 2 to the 3rd, plus it's going to be negative. This 1 over 4 times 2 to the 4th power, that's going to be 16. Subtract 8 plus 4 minus 6. That's going to be 4. Subtract 8 plus 4 minus 6. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Subtract cancels out. We're going to get negative 6. Okay, so our ending point is 4. So we also plug in back into the equation here. So we're going to have 4, 4, 4, and 4. So we can do this one more time. So it's 1 over 4 times 4 to the 4th power. So we can reduce 1 4, so this basically is 4 to the 3rd. Alright, so the next one is subtract 4 to the 3rd. 4 squared, that's going to be 16. Subtract 6. So plus 16, subtract 6. Since we reduce 1, that's going to be 4 to the 3rd. 4 to the 3rd cancels out. And 16 minus 6, that's going to be 10. Now we have our ending point is 10. Okay, so it's very clear. The largest number we have will be the 10. And the smallest one we have is negative 6. So the absolute maximum will be 10, and the absolute minimum will be negative 6.